Alright, the first extra episode. We have completed everything. We're gonna do chapter A. Or Alpha, I think. It feels weird that I'm actually here. Chapter Alpha was like a myth. I saw it like, I think it's in between 2 and 3. And I was like, I'm never getting here. Despite the circumstances, everything feels cold. I feel like I'm falling endlessly through a space my brain could never begin to comprehend. When I open my eyes, I see hell. What the hell? I woke up to the sound of crackling and screaming. The small room I'd made my own in the place we were renting was completely engulfed in flames. What the hell happened? I crawled out of bed and started stumbling towards the door to the rest of the apartment in a haze. Is Allison okay? Oh god. Allison! Allison! Can you hear me? A muffled scream returned my desperate calls. Saturday. Help! I rushed out of the room in the direction of the noise, and then froze when I saw the end of the hallway. Allison was completely surrounded by a blazing inferno, and sitting above her was the strange masked woman who had broken into our hotel room. What the hell? Get away from her! I rushed forward to try to save Allison. Something gave out, and I fell face first towards the ground. Ah! What is... I looked behind me to see what had caused me to collapse, and what I saw made my face go pale in horror. One of my legs was missing, and a mixture of blood and horrifying black liquid was oozing from it. Then the pain struck. Unimaginable pain. I felt as if I was being torn across the universe. I couldn't even let out a scream before. I jolted up right in my bed. The room that had just been on fire a moment ago was back to its original, peaceful, slightly messy self. I pulled up the blanket I was sleeping with and looked down. My leg was still there, albeit wrapped in many bandages. A nightmare, then. I let my head rest back on my pillow and sighed. You'd think I'd be used to these by now. Definitely not, though. I closed my eyes again and tried to drift back into sleep again. To no avail. Alright, goddammit, fine. I'll get up. I looked over at my bedside table and grabbed my phone. The little always on display said 11:35 p.m. I guess I did go to sleep earlier than usual. I carefully moved my leg over the bed's edge and moved it into the cast, propped up against my bed. Slowly stumbled out of the room. As I went into the living room, I looked over at the eating table and saw Allison sitting on her laptop. Morning. Evening? Good 11:35 p.m. Couldn't sleep. Slept. Then I woke up. Bad dream. Allison looked concerned. Sorry to hear. Want to talk about it? Not really. Understandable. I pulled up one of the seats at the table across from her and sat down. Isn't it pretty late for your standards? I've been sleeping later and waking up later lately. Not too sure why. I guess that's fair. Welcome to my world. I'd have to pull like 3 all-nighters in a row to get to your world, Sat. I gave her a jokingly angry glare, and she chuckled. So, what are you doing awake? Making sure plans are finalized for tomorrow. Huh? What's happening tomorrow? Seriously? Sue me. Just tell me. Coultamy and Ari moving into the same building tomorrow? I sighed. Not sure I forgot about that. I'm making sure everything's sorted with the discounted rent plan they get from us also being here. That makes sense. What time are they getting here again? I think the ferry gets into Miyamoto port around 11 p.m. Oh, okay. You don't need to be up too early then. Yeah, not really an issue. We sat in silence for a bit, the only sounds in the apartment being the air conditioner and Allison tapping on her laptop's keyboard. Got a kind of serious one for you, if you're okay with talking about it. Eh? Sure. Have you been doing okay? Mentally, I mean. You haven't really talked about it since that night I came into your room. I think I am? It's hard to tell sometimes. How so? Well, I'm still kind of struggling to put words to some of the things I'm feeling. But evidently, it's still bothering me enough that I'm having nightmares about it. I mean, I'd be more surprised if you weren't struggling to process it. It's all just so scary to think about. It sure is. And there's also still the part of me that can't place what it is about all of this that feels wrong to me. Wouldn't all of it feel wrong? No, yeah, I know. But it's different than that. Like, spiritual? Spiritual the right word? I don't know. It feels incorrect? Like something about the very way everything happened fundamentally contradicts the way the world works? Yeah. Wow, you put that pretty easily. I guess you think about it too? Kind of hard not to. But I do get what you mean. It's something I can't figure out, and every time I try, I get an enormous headache and need to take a break. Almost feels like something supernatural is guarding the truth. Didn't take you for the superstitious type. I'm very much not. Which is what makes all of this so weird. Yeah. Some more time passed. I focused on the dim lamp in the corner of the apartment, which was flickering ever so slightly. I'm going to assume this takes place in the past. I think. You think all of this is going to be okay? I can't say. But I don't think worrying about it. I don't think worrying about if it is or isn't is worth the time. It won't change much. I was kind of surprised to hear that coming from her. I really have changed. Damn. It's not a huge deal. Don't make it weird. I'm not making it weird. Allison, despite her tendency to be as honest as she possibly can, is always very shy about changing. Anytime she became interested in something new or wanted to change up her look, it'd always take her a little bit to work up the courage to talk about it. Oh, wait, she talked about this in the final chapter. Something about her not wanting to change. Seeing that in effect here. Knowing the context behind it makes it even sadder. But she undoubtedly has changed. The fact that we're even staying at Miyomi with the plan to go to Tokyo in the winter is proof of that. Yeah, this takes place in the past. I'm assuming this is a different loop. You know, because, like, the divergent routes, some of them are different. I'm just holding my promise to you. Huh? What's that? Nothing. I think I'm done for the night. She closed up her laptop and stood up. What about you? Are you going to try to get more sleep? Yeah, probably. Just have to refresh the brain juices after a nightmare. You know how it is. Sure do. Need help getting back to your room? Nah, I got it. Thanks for offering, though. Yeah, of course. Night. Night, night. Allison walked down the hall to her room. I stood myself up from the table and walked back to my own. Thanks, Allie. You're right. We'll be okay. This memory. I don't recall it. Wait, what? Where am I? Huh? Oh, no. Uh, who am I, for that matter? Can't see anything. Can't hear anything. I tried to shout, but didn't feel my mouth move. Couldn't think of it. Can't feel anything either. What the hell is this? Is someone's idea of a practical joke? No, it can't be. Oh no. These memories, they're outside of what I recall. Suppose I can't do anything but keep watching them. Oh my god, you have to unlock so much! Huh, this is actually shorter than I thought. Okay, so this does take place in between 2 and 3. It's a different route. The next day, the routine ferry for Tanegashima to Kagoshima departed on time as the schedule had suggested, with Eri and Kotsumi on it. The two sisters sat down at one of the seats facing each other that ran through the long hallway of the east side of the ship. Oof, glad boarding wasn't an issue. I was worried since we have the car with us that it'd be lined up. Can't imagine there's plenty of people itching to go from Tanegashima to Kagoshima, and vice versa, though. Yeah, fair. Anyway, it's about 100 minutes to Miyomi. What are you gonna do to pass the time? Don't know. I didn't have anything in mind. Do you want anything from the cafe? We'll probably go grab a drink at some point. I can go myself. Sheesh. Mary's babying me. You're the younger sister. You are literally a baby to me. Oh, shut up. You're the more excitable and energetic one. Ugh. Point taken. I wasn't serious. You don't know Shirley isn't really tied to energy at all, right? I mean, obviously I do. Sometimes I forget, though. I don't know. How do you forget something like that? I just do. Or I guess it's less that I forget that and more like, how do I put it? Connie thought to herself for a moment. Noticing the more serious turn the conversation was taking, Ari relaxed her friendly guard a little. I guess it's more that sometimes I feel like I forget what the energy I even have is. Like you forget what your personality is like. Kinda. Or more so wondering if I even have anything that could be considered a personality. Kotomi forced a smile. That probably sounds stupid, doesn't it? Ari leaned back in the soft chair. I don't think it's stupid. I mean, you obviously do have a personality, but I get what you mean. Yeah, I feel like there's always some degree of me changing my personality to adapt to whatever kind of environment I'm in. And like, I know that that's, part of being a social human being, but I'm also not sure I've struck the best balance. I guess that's what I'm thinking about. Any idea why that would be? What do you mean? Like, any reason you can think of for why you sort of end up slipping into adopting more than you feel you should? Sorry. I'm not good with words for this kind of thing. No, that's fine. I get you now. Not really sure? I guess if I could think of one thing, I really felt like I needed to be super myself. Oh, so. I guess it's like, I kind of feel like a footnote in other people's stories sometimes. I've never had a reason to put forward Kotomi Nichibutsu. Feels like I'm just there sometimes. That's not really anyone's fault. I could definitely stand to be a bit more forward about things. Well, if you need any help, you can ask me. Don't know if this kind of stuff is my strong suit, but I can at least lend an ear. Yeah, appreciate you a lot, sis. You know that. Of course I do. The sisters spent some time in silence, watching the waves turn as the ferry plows through the ocean. Okay, I'm gonna go grab a drink. Sure you don't want anything? Grape juice. Kazumi laughed. You got it, sis. Sure enough, the ferry pulled into a port of Miyami shortly after 11 p.m. Allison stood leaning against the exterior wall of the waiting room, drinking a decaffeinated coffee drink. Slowly, the ramp opened, and one by one, cars and foot passengers alike began to pour out the ferry. The car Kotami was driving turned and drove up right beside the waiting room, and Kotami rolled the window down. Long time no see. Glad to see you're in good health, Allie. You too as well. Do I just take the back seat, or are there any other seats to take, girlie? I'm just being courteous. Allison opened the back door of the car and slid into the back seat. It's only about 5 minutes from here. Still have the address I sent you, yeah? Yep. Kozumi tapped the address of the apartments into her phone's map service and drove out the ferry terminal. I take you two had a safe and uneventful trip? Pretty much, yeah. Kozumi was worried we were going to miss the ferry, though. Hey, I was just thinking ahead. You know, sometimes the lines for ferries can be pretty bad if you're driving. Kozumi, you live in Tanigashima. That wasn't going to happen. Allison laughed at the sisters' playful banter. Feels like a bit of a role reversal. Kozumi is usually the reckless one, leaving things till the last minute. I didn't want to miss the ferry! Wow, I'm being persecuted from all angles by my friend and sister. Everyone in the car laughed. Kozumi pulled the car into the parking zone for the apartment building, and the three girls stepped outside into the fresh air. Dude, I miss this energy. Oh my god. Alright, so I made sure your keys were ready on time for when your ferry arrived. You need to go check in with the landlord at the office to get those, though. Makes sense. Saturday awake? She wasn't when I left, but she might be now. Check on her while you two get checked in. Sounds good. I'll find us when you're done, then. Sure. Kotami and Eri walked off towards the landlord's office around the front entrance of the building, and Allison walked up the stairs to the second floor. I was lying in bed when Allison knocked on my door. Hey, set you up? Yeah, sorta. Alright, well, no pressure to get out. I was just checking if you were awake. Kotami and Eri are here now, but we can invite them over to say hi once you're properly up, okay? Yep, sounds good. I heard the footsteps that indicated Allison walking away, and then the front door opening and closing. I lifted my head up from my pillow and sighed. God, I feel like shit for this. Sorry, Allie. I took up my phone and opened the Messenger app. Oh, you are awake. Yes. Well, glad to be here. Yeah. So, what we talked about. Yeah. Are we still good for tonight? Should be. When do you want to leave? Allie has been sleeping later, so I'll probably get up to get a drink at 1 if she's asleep, I'll go then. Okay, got it. Put my phone away and exhaled. Really, really sorry, Allie, but I need to know. Well, that's a creepy one. Allison woke up. She checked the time on her phone and saw that it was 1:22 a.m. Why'd I wake up? Well, whatever. Turning over in bed, Allison closed her eyes again to return to the world of dreams. But she couldn't. Something isn't right. Allison lifted her head up off of her pillow and sat up. Sighing, she took a drink from the glass of water on the side of her bed. Fantastic. Hate this thing my body does where it wakes up and refuses to sleep again until it knows what's wrong. Turning and sliding her legs out of her comforter, Allison slipped her feet into her slippers and stood up. Then, realizing the uncertainty she was feeling, she went cold with fear. Is Saturday all right? She turned the knob to open the door to the hallway. Each step felt like hot coal burning away the layer of safety that she'd managed to believe in, even in spite of the situation she'd been through. Allison stopped outside of Saturday's door. I'm sorry she's asleep. I shouldn't be loud. I shouldn't worry, so let's just be quiet and check. Very slowly and quietly, Allison turned the knob and opened the door. The dim light of the hallway spilled into Saturday's room, and what it illuminated was nothing. In any other circumstance, nothing would be good. Looking for something you're horrified of and finding nothing would be the best things to ease your fears. Right now, though. Saturday? No answer. It didn't take long for Allison to realize that Saturday wasn't in the apartment. Saturday, where the hell are you? After screaming around the apartment for a brief few minutes, Allison stopped and took a few deep breaths in. Allison ran back into her room, grabbed her phone, and immediately texted Kotami. Kotami, is Saturday over there? Please tell me she's over there or something. No reply. However, no response from Kotami came through. The cold ice pressing against Allison's chest became even colder. Kotami is usually awake at this time. Oh god. That's oddly concerning, but I don't care. Realizing she had no choice but to go over to Eri and Kotami's apartment herself, Allison rushed to put her shoes on and ran out the door to the second floor exterior hallway of the apartment building, and down to the apartment the sisters were renting on the first floor. Allison banged on the door a few times. However, it was not Kotami, but an extremely tired Eri who entered the door. Oh my god, Allison, it is 1 in the morning. What could possibly warrant this kind of reaction? Saturday's gone. I can't find her anywhere. She's not in the apartment. Aw. Realizing that Allison wasn't the type to play some kind of practical joke, Barry pulled Allison aside and helped her calm down. At least as much as she could. She calls me not awake? I tried contacting her, but I didn't get anything. I went to bed before her. I assume she's asleep. Let me go check. Aaron walked down the hallway to Kosumi's room and opened the door. After a few seconds, she turned back to Allison with a look of fear on her face. We have a bit of a problem on our hands. The barely audible monitor of Kotomi's car cut through the crickets and night ambience of the highway to the Okabachi Shrine. I sat in the front seat beside Kotomi, who was driving. My eyes drifted out the window to the stars above as we passed through the trees. I know this is an awful idea. Of course I did. How could I not? How could I have convinced myself in any way that this was anything close to a good idea? But something was calling me back. Something otherworldly. When you're dealing with something outside of the natural rules of the world, logic and emotion fall to the wayside. That just makes sense, right? I really hope, more than anything, Allie's just sleeping soundly. And I'll be back within a couple of hours, and she won't have known a thing. There's only about a half-hour drive to Okabachi Shrine. We get there, realize everything was normal, and be back by 2:30. Simple. Finally, I noticed the sign that indicated the turn-off from the highway to get to the shrine. Kotomi pulled into the car into a narrow offshoot road. Immediately, it was clear that at the very least, Chio's story she told us back in the hotel room was true. There was, indeed, a building that had an insignia of a sunrise in the place I thought the shrine originally had been. Kotsumi parked the car by the actual path to the shrine first. We got out, and she helped me up the stairs to the shrine. This is the shrine, then? It's not the same one from that video. Now that Kotsumi said it, I stopped to think about it, and realized she was right. Yeah, you're right. One in the video looked like it was some kind of residential neighborhood, right? This one is right in the middle of the forest. Wonder what the reason for that was. If whoever made that video was trying to lure us out here, why not include footage of the actual shrine we were being lured to? You see it. Kotsumi pointed to the right edge of the shrine, where a small wooden rocking horse sat, gently rocking in the midnight summer breeze. It's that horse. Yeah. I wasn't able to get a picture of it last time we were here. Should probably do that now. I took out my phone, sent a picture of the rocking horse. I put my phone back in my pocket. Anyway, yeah, this is the shrine. We entered through a maintenance shed behind the shrine, but I looked over to where the shed was the last time we were here. There's no longer any such structure by that part of the shrine. Sheesh. Some of you guys are dealing with some kind of supernatural world-altering force here. I didn't want to say it, but of course she was right. It really did feel like that. Anyway, yeah. Nothing out of the ordinary aside from the nesting shed. Let's, check the bigger elephant in the room. Or forest. Yeah. Here, let me help you down. Kotsumi helped me down the stairs back to where she had parked the car. Yawning, she pulled up to the top of the road and parked again. A strange sunrise building was clear in our sights. This thing. We walked up to the building, and Kotsumi opened the rusted metal door and looked inside. Sure enough, it led to that same spiral staircase. Should we go inside? I don't know. Do we need to? I don't think we should tempt fate that much. I shivered a bit. I knew that I wouldn't be able to leave here satisfied if I didn't go back down there to confirm the sights I thought I remembered. Kotsumi seemed to pick up on what I was thinking. She leaned against the rusted metal wall. Okay, watch. Think you can get yourself down there? Yeah. We'll just take a bit. Which I'm fine with. I just need to make sure. Alright. Call for me if you need me. Yeah. Walked over to the stairs and slowly but surely began to descend the steps, one by one. It took me nearly 6 minutes to reach the bottom. When I did, I was met with a confusing sight that made perfect sense. The entrance is blocked. God damn it. Right. It did cave in, didn't it? Well, at least I could be sure that part really did happen. This sucks, though. I walked up to the rubble. It was fragmented enough that I felt like I started clawing away at it. I can make it through. What the hell am I thinking? There's no way I could. And yet, my thoughts betrayed me, as I had already begun attempting to scoop the debris of the entrance with my bare hands. I was making slow but sure progress. Felt like last time. Sorry! That voice shouted everything I was thinking, believing, saying, and doing, all in an instant. It was immediately followed by hurried footsteps on metal, and a hand on my back pulling me back to reality. What the hell are you doing? For a second, I was unable to think, unable to do anything. It felt like I could barely breathe. My mind became a whirlwind of dreams and nightmares, hope and hopelessness. Don't shut up! Tell me! Answer me, goddammit, Saturday! What the hell are you doing? Allison was out of breath, panting with an expression on her face I couldn't quite make out. Was it anger? Fear? Sadness? I only got 2 words when my throat gave in. I felt like I couldn't say anything. Something had pressed against my ability to speak. What the hell in every possible universe would have made you think it was even a remotely good idea to come back here without telling me in the middle of the night with Kotomi? What the hell are you thinking? I grabbed my throat released. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd worry. I can't keep getting you involved in this. Of course it's a stupid idea. I know that. This feels wrong, Allison. You don't understand. You can't understand. I need to see this with my own eyes again. I've been constantly doubting if I can even trust my own goddamn memories of what happened. Can't understand. Can't understand? Of fucking course I can understand, Saturday. Do you think I haven't been feeling the same goddamn thing this whole goddamn time? But I know we can't just go out to the goddamn shop in the middle of the night without telling anyone other than the person I needed to drive me here. Do you even care what I think? Do you even care that I worry about you at all? Emotions were rising. In the moment, neither Allison and I could hold back the things we really wanted to say. Are you insane? Of course I care. That's why I didn't tell you. Why is that so hard to understand? I did this to keep you safe, Allison. To keep me safe? By putting yourself in danger, leaving me with the chance of losing you and never even knowing it until it was too late? You're so goddamn lucky I got a horrifyingly good sense of when something's gone wrong, or who knows what I would have found you in days later. Shauna continued. A similar scene was pointed hundreds of steps above the depths we stood in. Are you stupid? Are you really that goddamn stupid? Go to me. What the hell are you doing out here? Listen, okay? This isn't... Speak up. Speak up, goddammit. Tell me why! In all of their years together living on the peaceful island of Tanagashi, Kotomi had never seen her sister this emotional before. She didn't know what to say. What could she say? Look, okay, it didn't feel right. My sister and her friends literally almost died at this place, and none of you can even trust your memories of what happened. Can you blame me for going along with this when Saturday said she needed someone to drive her out here? Blame you? I absolutely can't blame you! God, of all the stupid, selfish, stuck-up things to do, were you just going to leave me there? Just leave me alone? I couldn't do anything, Eri. Mr. Sister nearly fucking died, and I just had to sit at home twiddling my goddamn thumbs. And now you're saying it's unfair for me to at least want to see the place where it happened? Of course it's not unfair to want to come back to see this place. Why didn't you tell me first? You would have stopped me. You're always playing it safe. You goddamn course I would have stopped you. You nearly died here. Why would I tell you it's a good idea to come back here? Synchronized with the flow of time, Eri took a step forward. Synchronized with the flow of time, Allison took a step forward. Surely if Kotomi felt how she was feeling rather than hear it, she'd understand. Surely if Saturday felt how she was feeling rather than hear it, she'd understand. Eri put her hands on Kotomi's shoulder. Allison put her hands on Saturday's shoulder. And Kotomi fell backwards. And Saturday fell backwards. Over the edge of the spiral staircase. This is the dragon pointed rubble blocking the entrance. Like every time before, the world freezes. God. Well, this is a new one. Having just activated freeze event in time, Dawn almost stared at her computer monitor in an almost routine manner. Alright. Well, what are we working with this time? 3 locks? 5 locks? But what she saw surprised her. Okay. Well, it is 5 locks, but there's 2 sets of 2 that converge in the middle? This is the lock formation she'd never seen before. It hadn't appeared during the Burning Museum incident, or the Shrine Cave-in, or even the World Keeper's intrusion into the hotel. Suppose there's no time to waste then. Let's get cracking. Dude, what? What? 8 A rings? You're kidding! I need to actually... Oh my god, I need to... Okay, got them all. What is this? What? Evanescentia? Opening. Damn, this is 9-star, okay. I'll show this whole song. Why not? Whoa, my whole computer. God damn, this sounds like some battle. This sounds like a battle theme. I did not expect that. Hold on. What? Whoa, 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 wait, what's happening? What's happening? Oh boy. That was fun. I like that. The lock's resolved and the puzzle solved. Dawn sat back in her chair and let the weight fall out of her. That was a bit of a nasty one. Glad it got resolved, though. Dawn looked over at her other monitor to observe the outcome of the story lock with the narrative. What she saw didn't exactly ease the tension. What the hell? On her screen, it was Aerie pushing Saturday and Alison pushing Kotomi. Wait. What? Saturday fell backwards just as Kotomi had prior to freeze frame's activation. She tumbled over the edge of the small staircase hand. Huh? Why did they swap? Saturday fell. She fell all the way down to the small staircase, and she kept falling, until she reached the ground, where she kept falling. What? She kept falling. What the hell do you mean she kept falling? She hit the ground! Right? She kept falling. What the hell do you mean she kept falling? She kept falling. She fell through the floor? Immediately, geometry and objects around the world, including Dawn's hideout, began to switch and tear apart. The world began to break apart at the seams. She kept falling. And then, before Dawn could consider what was happening, the ground beneath her gave way. She, too, fell. She fell. She kept falling. She kept falling. Oh. I think she kept falling. Wait, the game crashed. I know there's something else I forgot, but I've never actually accessed Boundary Shutter yet, but I actually do know about it. Let's do it. -1? Dude, what? Huh? Well, let's try the shatter level. Alright, let's see what this is. That did not take very long. I'm not sure. Yeah, you're never gonna see me be able to do this. It's not that this card is, like, confusing. I just literally cannot do it for the life of me. I've never felt so powerless. Well, did that work? In nothingness, we witness that which comes after absolute zero. In nothingness, we see that girl floating. In nothingness, we ask ourselves the question of what brings her to this place of no places. This world of no end. This world of the end. And yet the girl is waking. Where am I? Where are you? Everywhere. That is, nowhere. I don't think that answers the question. It is the only answer that can be provided. Right. Supposedly a stupid question, but who are you? It's a fair question to ask, and yet I cannot tell you. Why not? Because it would break the story. Right. It is admittedly fascinating to an observer such as myself that you could bring yourself to awaken within this nothingness. Do you know the circumstances that brought you here? I think I do. There was that story lock situation at the shrine. I solved the puzzles, but Saturday and Cults Me got swapped in them. And then, I don't know what happened after that. Do you? Naturally. Tell me then. You want to know? Of course I do. Just tell me. The entire stability of the Dustbreaker has been thrown into disarray. Bits are getting corrupted left and right. Everything's beginning to dissipate into where it once came from. Tell me, girl. What brings you to awaken within this space? Others in this world sleep soundly, and yet you're here, observing all that has been lost. I don't know. I don't know how any of this works. Surely you didn't feel as if there was something left to you. The simulated world is practically forfeit, as are the lives of the inhabitants that you would consider to be from the real world. It would take a miracle for the Dustbreaker to be recoverable from this state. No. It would require the miracle of a miracle. I don't know. I don't know why I've awakened like this. There isn't anything I can do. Interesting. This is determination. You choose to return to an endless sleep. Oh, shut up. You tell me there's nothing to be done. It'd be tantamount to self-harm to try to fight when I'm told what I can only assume to be the closest thing to the voice of God, that it's hopeless. The voice of God. I prefer not to be called that. I don't know what to call you then. Doesn't matter what you called me. You have made your choice, and will sleep forevermore. Liberator, representative of fights. You had a good run. I hope this eternal sleep sets you free from the story of infinity you've been bound to. You have told the ultimate determination to fight for the miracle of a miracle. The path forward may have changed, but none could fault you for this decision. Rest well, Don Hisamura. What? Wait, profile's open. Let me see, what has changed? Ultimate? I think what I meant to do is... No, let's play the song again. Is it a different one? Or is it the same song? It's... doesn't let me. Song? Did that work? Okay, please let this work. Please! I want to... Please let this work. Please. I won't give up. Okay. Even if the chance of being able to restore the simulated world is tantamount to none, I won't give up. Interesting. What form does this decision take? It's what I've been doing since the very beginning. I know now. I know everything that's transpired. How many cycles it's been. Cumulants of over 13,000 years I've been fighting these cycles for. I see. Brilliant. Well, the things I could have expected. To pull the determination needed to create a miracle from the future through the universe cache. You truly are something, Liberator. But then, to have the determination of the future, you surely have seen forward. Past Loch S. You know how things will transpire. Things you will do upon getting a shred of your humanity back. The harm you will bring upon the ones you claim to want to protect. Yeah, I have. I saw everything. I know what I'll do. I know the horrible things that will happen because of me, but I won't give up. Ha! This is certainly an interesting chain of events. Then, I don't suppose you'll let me witness your miracle? Do what you want. I don't even know who you are. Whatever you do, I'm going to see the end of this. I'm going to get out of this simulation. Anything after that is the undetermined future. Brilliant! Then show me, Don Hisamero. Impart onto me the determination you pulled from the future that allowed the future to come to pass. At once, the world began to warp and twist. Space and time alike became muddy as the fabric of reality and the Dustbreaker began to adjust to accommodate this determination. As the border between broken and stable shifted, reality restored itself. Dawn felt herself drifting through space, time, and memories. Clair de Lune? What? She jolted awake in her seat. Her seat was on the edge of the balcony, suspended above the ground floor of the theater. The dim lights pointed at the stage. From the stage, a girl sat, playing a piano. A young girl named Suki Tasogare, at the age of 9. The younger kid tugged at Dawn's shirt. Dawn looked over to see a small girl pulling on the sleeve of Dawn's shirt. You're, Sis's friend, right? Dawn, he's so something. Dawn looked down, unsure of what to say. The girl turned back around and sat back down in her seat. She's really good, right? Dawn looked back down at the stage. Suki's hands effortlessly slid across the keys. Dawn realized where she'd heard the song before. Clair de Lune. Fitting for her. Ha! Of course, Dawn had already seen everything that was about to transpire. She knew full well that there were so over 6,000 cycles to go. And of all the awful ways she'd act out on the final cycle. As if the signal to Dawn that this world, this space, was listening to her memories. Memories of events that had not yet come to pass. Scenery on the stage warped and shifted. Dawn looked down at herself, alone, after ultimation destroyed everything. The Dawn on the stage sat on her knees. Her hair drooped over the front of her face. Dawn couldn't see it, but she knew from her memories. She knew she was crying. And Dawn couldn't stop herself from crying, too, even as she smiled. The theater door opened, and at once, the lights in the theater went out. Because that's what the story needed to happen. A much older Saturday stepped into the theater, looking around. From the balcony, Dawn felt the version of herself on stage shift around. In the darkness of the theater, Dawn wiped her eyes and pulled her hair back, and she muttered a silent plea to herself. Just quiet enough that Saturday couldn't hear. Please, prove me wrong. Then, the lights above the stage flashed on. Dawn, no signs of having been crying, stood on the stage, looking down on Saturday. Welcome to the end. Indeed. She laughed, and then she was back to the way she had always been. Really, Saturday? Chopping a girl in a theater? Surely you're above such dirty Wait, this is what happened in the final chapter. Oh my god. You're just as bad as me, you know. Claiming to care about your friends and then leaving them all to rot in memory while you try to convince yourself you're better than you really are. Can't see the love that's been in front of you this whole time. The more the total tool either of us desire to use right now. Dude, I'm sorry about my words. On the balcony, the line that stood beyond the boundaries of time began to sob as the play drew to its final confrontation. So that's it. Is it? The extent of your will? The extent of your so-called love, Saturday? Come on, girl. Get back up. We're not done yet. Oh, trust me. I know. You're never one to accept a victory if I was just handed to you, anyway. Not that I plan on conceding here in the first place. Good, good, good. Show me again, Saturday. Show me how your love will fail you a second time. A third time. A million more times. Every word. Every drop of spit sent Saturday's way betrayed the thoughts, the emotions of the Dawn watching from the balcony. You don't mean that. You know you don't. Come on, Dawn. Of course, Dawn couldn't mean anything. She was incomplete. Not even a quarter of a whole. She couldn't understand why the things she was saying were hurtful. Tell me, girl, what makes your self-love so powerful? Makes you think you have any right to claim it to anything other than a self-aggrandizing ego trip? It's how I use it. How I express my love. How I use it to care for myself. To take time for myself. Take a moment to breathe. No matter the circumstance. Something you can't understand. Because your only objective is to make me miserable. Ha! Don't make me laugh at all your lovey-dovey jumbo bullshit. But sure, keep making an excuse for yourself. Keep telling yourself that. Something let loose in the observer Dawn's mind. She screamed. You're the one making excuses for yourself. Please, just stop. Don't do this to yourself. Of course, everyone knows how the fight progresses. An intermission cannot reach frozen time. And this time isn't even frozen. This hasn't even happened yet. And Dawn knows that. Of course she does. This is yet to pass. It's only cycle 2148. She will forget everything just for another 6,000 cycles of determination to reach this point. Eventually, the fighting came to an end. The play ended. The actors on the stage took a bow. But Dawn's eyes stung. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to hurt myself like this. This was the price you chose to pay. You stole from the future. Now you have to live with the knowledge of how the future will turn out. But it doesn't have to be like this. You know what's going to happen now? Maybe I don't have to forget. We can get a happier ending where I don't... Dawn. You can't change what's already... What? She knew this, of course. Just as much as she knew she needed to hear it. This was the choice she made. This was the choice you made. You chose to fight. Yeah, I know. The seats around Dawn emptied, and the viewers left the theater. Dawn remained stationary. She dried her eyes. I take it then. You're ready? I am. You acknowledge the fact that you will have to process the guilt of what you know you will do. I have. And you acknowledge that following this, you will fight once more, for over 6,000 more cycles, forgetting any of this transpired? Yes. I'll lend you a hand then. Let's put the world back together. Whoa, 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 whoa! I did not expect the song right now. What song is this? I only have 2 minutes left. Come on. My chair's reclining. It's going down, bro. I can't fucking focus. Renatus. No, it's not. It's not Stargazers. I don't know what this is. I want to see if I can get Stargazers, though I don't know when. Oh, I'm so close. 20 seconds. How'd I fumble the final notes, bro? Dawn opened her eyes. She sat upright in her chair. It's back then. Immediately, she looked over at the monitor to her right that was set up to display video feeds of the simulated world. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just so worried about you guys, and I want to kill this feeling I was useless to everyone. And how about for a change, but I went too far. I'm so sorry. You're right. I've been so stupid. Didn't even consider the danger, what it would mean to leave you alone. How could I do that to someone I love? I'm so sorry. Watching the feeds, a sad smile made its way to Dawn's lips. I'm sorry, everyone. I don't remember any of this. Neither will I. In her hand, she materialized her hollow weapon, her signature pistol. I'm sorry to you too, Dawn. Even once you do get out of here, things you'll have to live with will undoubtedly be just as much of a challenge. But I know you can do it. I know you can continue to live. Because Dawn raised her pistol and pointed it to her head. I'll never give up. Death is nothing at all. It does not count. I've only slipped away into the next room. Everything remains exactly as it was. I am I, and you are you. And the old life that we lived so fondly together is untouched, unchanged. Call me by the old familiar name. Speak of me in the easy way you always used. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. All is well. Nothing is hurt, and nothing is lost. One brief moment, and all will be as it was before. How we shall laugh at the trouble of parting when we meet again. She killed herself! The grandfather of reality. Dang, bro. I know I said this already, but I wish I was more literate. I need the words for this. Fuck! So, like, Dawn knew that she was going to do that in another cycle, but I initially didn't like Dawn's switch up, but I guess it kind of recontextualized here as something like a tragedy. I'm not gonna cry like I did last time, but damn! Well, now I have to get the encore episode, and oh my god. I already know that's going to be annoying to get. I have to complete class 9, which, oh my god. Oh, class 9. I know I said 8 or 9 was about my level, but playing these levels I realize, no, it's not. I'm like a bit below, like maybe class 6 or 7, but Dawning! God, piano might be one of the best instruments. It's always the fucking piano. It's always a piano. Something about the piano. And that's where those memories end. I see. Now, with all this context, I remember at the very least myself. I'm Don Hisameru. But where am I? Isn't it the same as that void of nothingness from back then? So what is it? What's the purpose of being shown these memories? Damn it. I can't remember anything. And my head hurts. Hello? Anyone? Is anyone there? I'm surprised that my mouth worked now. I'm surprised that my mouth worked now. That's good at least. Maybe someone will hear me. Hello? Is there anyone to hear me? Hello? Anyone out there? I screamed and screamed, but nothing returned to me. Not even the sound of my own echo. Resigning, I felt the energy give out from under me. I collapsed back into sitting down. Or at least what I thought was sitting down, given that I couldn't see or feel anything. Yeah, guess that makes sense. Nothing is here. Nobody is here. I don't even know what this place is, or if it's even a place. I can't do anything to try and get any more information. In that space, Dawn resigned. First time in her life, Dawn resigned. Do you resign as well? I figured as much. And you, of course, are her in this scenario. Let's see, then, where this undecided future takes us all together. What? Type code to access gate. Favorite Bloomin' 2 and play it? Oh my god. Neutron Hexama. Oh jeez. This is... Well, that was Chapter Alpha. Thank you for watching my first extra episode. I think the next one will be about... course mode. Because I'm pretty sure I need to get to Class 9 to 100% the game. I think you need Class 9. I'm trying to get all the achievements. I actually don't know how much I have right now. I think it's 43? Including the Chapter Alpha one I just got. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you when we do course mode.